Up+Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up+Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Happy Monday, back at it. Thank you so much for being Up+Adam. My name is Adam Montiel. Today's episode, we're going to sit down with Molly Kern. She's the CEO of the Slow Food Bank for a real and inspiring conversation about what food insecurity looks like right here in SlowCal. While many of us are easing into summer, there's a silence happening in school cafeterias across the country that speaks volumes. Because when school's out, for thousands of local kids, so is their most reliable meal of the day. We talk about the power of a single breakfast bag, what a $1 donation can actually do at the food bank, and the surprising face of hunger in San Luis Obispo County, in her own backyard. Molly's going to share stories from the field, how the food bank went from a repurposed ice cream truck to serving over 46,000 people a month, and what's going down at this year's Hunger Awareness Day, their big open house happening on Friday, June 6th. I know one thing that's going down, a fast-paced, flair-filled breakfast bag build-off that I get to MC, and you're invited too. So excited to talk to Molly from the food bank later on in the show. All right, 4th of July is around the corner. This little nugget out of Grover Beach, they're cracking down this summer with a brand new way to stop the boom boom where it doesn't belong. Starting June 27th, the new social host ordinance is going to kick in. And here's the deal. If someone sets off illegal fireworks at your place, or even on the street out front, you might be the one holding the bag. Doesn't matter if you're the owner, the renter, or just hosting a party. If it goes off and it ain't the safe and sane, those are allowed. That could be, so if it's not the safe and sane, right, it could be $1,000 fine per firework. Yeah, each one. Mayor Cassie D says it's all about accountability and public safety, and the ordinance is built to hold folks in control of the property responsible, unless they can show they made a real effort to prevent it. So if your buddy thinks it's cute to launch a Roman candle off on your patio, that one firework could cost you $1,000. Do it again, that's $2,000. And there's no cap. No cap. Your kid gets it. Again, safe and sane fireworks, those are still allowed. But if it's the kind that goes up, blows up, or turns the neighborhood into Baghdad, get ready to pay up. Or just, better yet, shut it down before it starts. So says Grover Beach. All right, excited to chat with Molly from the Slow Food Bank. Before that, let's tell you about Pink Drink. Bring your thirst, leave your excuses, because this summer we're pouring pink. Pink Drink is back Saturday, July 12th at the Elks Lodge in San Luis Obispo. Over 30 of the hottest producers in wine, beer, cider, spirits, craft cocktails, poolside, dressed in pink, having fun, curated bites, a live DJ. It's going to be an absolute blast. It's not your average tasting. This is very much Summer Serves Sexy. All supports the Woods Humane Society, also the Elks National Foundation. Tickets $65. You will not find an event with all you can partake in, right? Come hungry, come thirsty. I promise you're not going to leave either of those. It's only for the grown and sexy, 21 and over. It's priced like it shouldn't be at $65. Let's go. It's for a good cause. That's why we're doing it. Grab your tickets, pinkdrink.org.
It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, my guest today is someone who's doing incredible work right here in our backyard. Molly Kern, the CEO of the Slow Food Bank. At a time when food insecurity is hitting thousands of families across the Central Coast, her team is not just stepping up, they're finding creative, compassionate ways to make sure no one falls through the cracks. From breakfast bags that fuel kids through the summer to a warehouse that moves millions of pounds of food a year. This is next level impact. With Hunger Awareness Day coming up, also their big open house and community event just around the corner this Friday. Now is the perfect time to dig into what the food bank really does and how we can all be a part of it. Molly, it's great to have you. Thank you for being Up+Adam.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so, there's this kind of silence in summer that most people don't even hear. And it's not the beach or like the backyard barbecue. It's a cafeteria, right? That's now closed. And lunch lines that have gone quiet. Like, what does that silence kind of mean to, when you think about kids in the county who depend on those meals and suddenly they're just not there?
Yeah, it really is this sort of flip of the Norman Rockwell summer in America that we think of. And that's partially because schools do such a phenomenal job during the academic year of making sure that all students have the nourishment that they need to thrive, to learn, to grow. So many schools are providing not only lunch and breakfast every day to students in need, but also snack or have maybe a pantry on site for families to be able to access. And all of those wonderful necessary resources go quiet in the summer.
We're lucky and blessed to live in a really nice area, but there is food insecurity here, and you're feeding maybe 50,000 people or so a month. What are you seeing? And let us know, kind of, rip that curtain down and show us what you're dealing with, really.
Yeah, so right now we're serving an average of more than 46,000 people a month. It's a huge number, and it really is the fabric of SLO County that we're serving. We're serving huge numbers of young families in particular, parents who are early in their career. It is so expensive to raise children on the Central Coast, and also seniors, people who are living on a fixed income. So many people who really, children and seniors in particular, for whom nourishment and healthy food, safe food is so important for their well-being. They're turning to the food bank as really a tool in their toolbox to be able to continue living in SLO County.
So before we talk about the exact event and things kind of surrounding it, thousands of these breakfast bags get assembled, photographed, celebrated. But I imagine there's like really a story behind each and every one of them. Can you kind of think of a story for maybe a child or a family that you kind of carry when you come into Hunger Awareness Day and something that really moved you?
I think really when I think of families, we recently had a mom come in who had just left a challenging relationship, was literally had just left, had not even gotten to the safe place that they were staying. And she said, I've got my kids, we've got our stuff, we've got a place to go, but I don't know what I'm going to feed them tonight. And that is really, it is representative of so many different lives lived on the Central Coast, so many different people who, for whatever reason, many have good jobs, many are going through a hard time, come to a place in their life where they don't know what the next step is. And we're just really so honored to be there, to be part of helping them build that next chapter for their lives. And then when it comes to, honestly, the breakfast bags, my favorite part is that we get to work with children through our children's farmers markets throughout the year to help taste test some of the stuff that goes into it, to make sure that the children's impact and sort of their thoughts on what would be delicious, nutritious breakfast throughout the summer is included.
Okay, so the bag costs like $35 to fill. Is that right?
A little, yep, that's
right around there.
about right.
But the impact, it's impossible to measure. Like, what's something that you wish kind of really people understood about the ROI, not just in meals, but like momentum, dignity, all like those things that come along with what you're able to do here?
I think the real hope for Hunger Awareness Day in general, and especially for these breakfast bags, is a reminder to all of us that we have an opportunity to care for our neighbors, and that food is this super powerful way to show someone that you care about them, that their life matters to you. And with food insecurity in particular, there's no way of knowing when you look at someone if they're experiencing food insecurity or not. Someone can look great, they can have what you would think of as a good job, and they can still be living less than paycheck to paycheck, be really so close to that cliff of what happens when someone breaks their arm or there's a car accident or some unexpected expense pops up and you think you're doing great and you turn around one day and you don't know how you got there. And I think that empathy of recognizing that, hey, everyone is doing the best they can, and it is so expensive to live in SLO County. The cost of living is really what we hear time and time again is, housing, childcare, gas prices, these things that we see headlines on all the time. Food is the thing that is squeezed most, and where people have to make these heartbreaking choices around eating less or eating less nutritiously in order to afford their medication or in order to get gas to get their kids to school, to get them to their job. And so I think it really is just that moment of recognition and reminder that a lot of people are having a tough time in our community, but also how much we can do when we work together. Like, it really is incredible to see. At the food bank, we work with more than 1,900 different volunteers every year. It's a community coming together on a huge scale.
What is something about food insecurity that the average person gets totally wrong or never really even considers?
I think it's just that how easy it is, if you're not experiencing food insecurity, how easy it is to not think about it. And on the flip side, if it's part of your life, that it's hard to think about anything else. every single one of us needs to eat nutritious food every single day in order to thrive. It doesn't matter what your income is. It doesn't matter what your job is, how old you are, what your culture is, anything like that. We all have this thing in common, and it can be easy to take for granted if you have it. And there's nothing else you can think about if you don't. And so it really is one of those things that if you have it, you don't notice it maybe, but when it's not there, your whole life will revolve around it.
All right, let's talk about the 6th and the open house. Let us know all what's going down.
Yeah, so for Hunger Awareness Day this year, we're really excited to welcome the community into our warehouse. We actually haven't had a big community event since the Slow Food Bank moved into this warehouse in 2016.
Wow.
A lot has happened since then. We've gone through COVID. We've come out the other side. We're now moving about 5 million pounds of food a year. And I think when we talk about these big numbers, 5 million pounds of food, 46,000 different people every month, it can be a little bit hard to conceptualize what that actually looks like. And so we really wanted to take an opportunity to invite the community in to see their food bank, because this really is a community resource that we couldn't have gotten to this point without this amazing community. The food bank started about 36 years ago in a converted ice cream truck that was driven around by volunteers. And it's gotten to this amazing place because volunteers, donors, supporters, champions, and really all stripes of our community have got us to this place. And we can really celebrate how far we've come.
Are there two aspects to like what you guys do? Like people donate to you, I imagine, but also there's this ability of you guys to buy, and you have this great buying power where you can take a dollar that would stretches a lot further than it does for someone normal, and you can really help a lot of people with a lot less money.
It really is incredible. Yeah. So for every dollar donated, we can turn that into about 4 nutritious meals, which is quite honestly a bang for your buck you're not getting anywhere else. And I think it's also worth knowing that more than half of the food that we distribute through the Slow Food Bank is fresh food. So that is produce, it is milk and eggs and cheese and meat and fish and all of these things that you really just can't donate at a canned food drive.
Yeah.
And that's the food that's really has the biggest nutrition impact for our neighbors. And we can, the donations take us so much further.
So you just have relationships with like everyone, like every grocery store, every restaurant, or how does that work even? I mean, it's like sounds even too big to even fathom.
Yeah, we're super scrappy and creative. That is really where we see our strength. And so, relationships with every grocery store in SLO County. We also work with other food banks throughout the state to source from local farmers in each county to really help make sure local produce is getting to local people. We work with really so many different partners who lean in and say, hey, I don't know if this is a fit, but we've got X. Is there something we can do to work together?
Yeah, that's exciting. So there's a real competitive aspect to something that we're doing on the 6th. I'm excited that you're having me out to kind of MC and hang out with you guys. I'm really pumped about that. Talk about where we get real competitive and how these sponsors come together to really make a difference.
Yeah, so we are super excited to have you sort of, commentating the entire thing. But we're going to have a breakfast bag build-off where each of our sponsors will have a team of 4, and they will be timed as how fast they can build 10 breakfast bags to serve children in our community throughout the summer. And there's going to be a timed award for whoever can do it the fastest, also the most accurate. You can't just sort of like smash things together. We got to get each of those 21 breakfasts into every bag. And then also the team that does it with the most flair. So we'll have a speed award and a spirit award for how everyone's coming together and really having that experience and doing something so incredibly meaningful.
Do you need to RSVP or get any type of tickets, or you just want to people come on out?
We would love it if people would RSVP on our website. As you can imagine with the food bank, we don't want to run out of food for people that are either. So it'd be a wonderful, wonderful thing if you can please RSVP. But if you forget to, you can still come on down that day. We're going to have food for everyone, going to have this build off, going to be giving tours of our warehouse so you can really see the ins and outs of how everything happened.
Huge.
It is pretty gigantic. Yeah, I have to be honest. When I first joined the team, I didn't know a lot about warehousing or pallet jacks or forklifts or semi-trucks and walk-in coolers and freezers that you can drive a forklift into, all of these things. We are out just by the airport off of Kendall Road.
Okay.
So it's pretty convenient to get to, though it is a little bit tucked away. There's plenty of parking, all of the things that are, considerations on a Friday afternoon in the summer in SLO. But even if someone can just stop by for a couple of minutes to check it out, we would love to see you.
Check out what your food bank is doing. I mean, this is a great way to do it. How can people learn more about the food bank? And more importantly, talk to maybe someone who just has resources to give, and then maybe even to someone who is thinking of their business in a way that they can give with their company.
Yeah. So I think, what we see in SLO County, we're so lucky that there is a culture of people who are just fans of food and who love it. And we get to work with so many people, whether it's individuals or businesses who want to donate, who are interested in getting a group together to volunteer, maybe just volunteering as an individual. There's so many different ways that you can get involved, whether it's volunteering to glean and pick produce, to pack that in our warehouse, to distribute it out in the community. You can find all of it on our website, which is slofoodbank.org.
It's cool. A lot of other organizations work with you too. I think of Glean Slow, right?
Yep.
Or I think of the gals from the Pots to Plates project.
Yep.
Love them.
They're amazing. Yeah, Glean Slow is one of our programs that's just has so much incredible support from the community. Pots to Plates is a great example. There's a young woman, Claire, who's been doing fundraising on behalf of our organization since I think she was maybe 10 years old or something like that. And she's incredible in high school now. But it's just really incredible to see so many people giving back in different ways and really also just helping spread the word is such an incredible thing you can do to be a champion for our work and to make sure that anyone who you know and love that might be going through a hard time, that they're getting that comfort in your recommendation. And hey, how about you stop by the food bank? I know they can help. We really, those referrals, as it were, are an incredible way to help make sure that people are getting the food they need.
Well, thanks for letting us know what you do and how we can help. And I can't wait to see you on the 6th. It's going to be a fun Friday for sure.
It's going to be incredible. Yeah, we're excited to have you there.
Appreciate you being here. Thanks for being Up and Adam, Molly.
Thanks so much.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Big thanks to Molly. Now, hunger isn't always visible, but it is real. You want to get involved, whether it's donating, volunteering, just helping spread the word, go to slofoodbank.org. Links in the show notes, of course. And don't forget, Hunger Awareness Day, Friday, June 6th. I'll be there emceeing what's shaping up to be a fun and meaningful afternoon at their open house event, including that breakfast bag build-off. Over 20 sponsored teams going head-to-head. It's going to be spirited. It's going to be inspiring. I'd love to see you there. All right, tomorrow, True Crime Tuesday. Mucho thank yous to Moonshiner Collective for being Up and Adam. Original music on the show is called Start Again. Find it wherever you stream your music, and you can learn more, moonshinercollective.com. Tamber Winery, the Low Bro Studios at Tamber. You can taste their wines in the village of Arroyo Grande, tamberwinery.com. Thank you to you for rating, reviewing, subscribing if you have, and in advance if you have not. Appreciate you taking the time to let others know, sharing the show with a friend. It means a lot. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're ready for an even better week. Till tomorrow, I'm Adam Montiel. Thanks again for being Up and Adam.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start again.